here we are once again to read a story by Beatrix Potter, and this time it's the tale of Jeremy Fisher. He likes fishing. I think he likes to eat fish. Do you like eating fish? Yes, penguins like fish. What about you, Teddy? No? Oh, Teddy's don't eat much. Oh, they like tea parties, yes. Well, there he is. And let's have a look. Oh, who's that? Whew. It's an old turtle, isn't it? Right. Well, Beatrix Potter wrote this one for Stephanie. And I'm reading this one for anyone who likes frogs. Once upon a time, there was a frog called Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little damp house amongst the buttercups at the edge of the pond. The water was all slippy, sloppy in the larder, in the back passage. But Mr. Fisher liked getting his feet wet. Nobody ever scolded him, and he never caught a cold. He was quite pleased when he looked out and saw large drops of rain splashing in the pond. I'll get some worms and go fishing and catch a dish of minnows for my dinner. If I catch more than 5 fish, I'll invite my friends, Mr. Alderman, Ptolemy, Tortoise, and Sir Isaac Newton. The Alderman, however, he eats salad. Mr. Jeremy put on a mackintosh and a pair of shiny galoshes. He took his rod and basket and set off with enormous hops to the place where he kept his boat. The boat was round and green and very like the other lily leaves. It was tied to a water plant in the middle of a pond. Oh, look, he's got his little woven fishing basket there with everything he needs. Mr. Jeremy took a reed pole and pushed the boat out into the open water. I know a good place for minnows, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Mr. Jeremy stuck his pole into the mud and fastened his boat to it. Then he settled himself cross-legged and arranged his fishing tackle. He had the dearest little red float. His rod was a tough stalk of grass. His line was a fine, long, white horsehair, and he tied a little wriggling worm at the end. Look, he's got a jar full of worms. The rain trickled down his back, and for nearly an hour he stared at the float. This is getting tiresome. I think I should like some lunch, said Jeremy Fisher. He punted back again among the water plants and took some lunch out of his basket. I'll eat a butterfly sandwich and wait until the shower is over, said Jeremy Fisher. A great big water beetle came up underneath the leaf and tweaked the toe of one of his galoshes. Mr. Jeremy crossed his legs up shorter, out of reach, and went on eating his sandwich. Once or twice something moved about with a rustle and a splash amongst the rushes at the side of the pond. I trust that is not a rat, said Jeremy Fisher. I think I'd better get away from here. Oh, he doesn't want anything to do with that rat. Well, Mr. Jeremy shoved the boat out again a little way and dropped in the bait. There was a bite almost directly. The float gave a tremendous bobbit. A minnow, a minnow! I have him by the nose, cried Mr. Jeremy Fisher, jerking up his rod. But what a horrible surprise! Instead of a smooth fat minnow, Mr. Jeremy landed little Jack Sharp, the stickleback, covered with spines. No, it's almost as big as he is. The stickleback floundered about the boat, pricking and snapping until he was quite out of breath. Then he jumped back in the water. Of course, fish can't breathe out of water, can they? And a shoal of other little fishes put their heads out and laughed at Jeremy Fisher. Woo! And while Mr. Jeremy sat discontentedly on the edge of his boat, what just dropped down from the tree, sucking his sore fingers and peering down into the water, a much worse thing happened. A really frightful thing it would have been if Mr. Jeremy had not been wearing a Macintosh. We call them raincoats. A great big enormous trout came up, ker-flop, with a splash, and it seized Mr. Jeremy with a snap. Ow, ow, ow! And then it turned and dived down to the bottom of the pond. Goodness gracious! Oh, I think trout are nice to eat, aren't they? Have you ever eaten a trout? But the trout was so displeased with the taste of the Macintosh that in less than half a minute it spat him out again, and the only thing it swallowed was Mr. Jeremy's galoshes. Goodness gracious, that trout is so big it nearly had the frog for breakfast. Mr. Jeremy bounced up to the surface of the water like a cork and the bubbles out of a soda bottle, and he swam with all his might to the edge of the pond. Doesn't she draw beautifully? Oh, she's painted all those lovely colours as well. I love the pictures in this book. He scrambled out on the first bank he came to, and he hopped home across the meadow with his Macintosh all in tatters. Oh dear. This is what he was wearing it. I mean, he probably won't wear it again. What a mercy, that was not a pike, he said. I have lost my rod and basket, but it doesn't matter much, for I'm sure I should never have dared to go fishing again. Goodness me, what's he going to eat now? Look at him hippity-hoppity all the way home. He put some sticking plaster on his fingers, and his friends both came to dinner. He could not offer them fish, but he had something else in the larder. Here they are. Looks like an eel and a... oh no, I don't know what that is. A tortoise. Oh, he's a newt, I see, yes. Sir Isaac Newton wore his black and gold waistcoat. Smart, isn't he? And Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise brought a salad with him in a string bag. Oh, he does like lettuce. Yes, he does. I would have thought frogs like lettuce as well. And instead of a nice dish of minnows, they had a roasted grasshopper with ladybird sauce, which frogs consider a beautiful treat, but I think it must have been nasty. Oh my goodness gracious me. There's lots more stories in the series, so tune in for your favourite one. Look, I haven't quite got them all, but I've got nearly all of them, and I'm making the effort to get them all. Bye for now. Did you like that teddy? Yay! Bye. Bye.